competed a meet of this level, essentially in your backyard where you're most certainly a fan favorite?
Yeah, it's great. I was doing an interview earlier and saying that the first time I swam at this pool, I was 10. So I've been here quite a bit. It really is in my backyard. Had a whole hour drive here. I'm exhausted. But yeah, it's cool to be back. This is my second Phillips 66 Nationals that I've been able to swim in. I came to watch when I was 12, but this is a meet that has a lot of history with me, so I'm pretty excited to be back.
Go ahead and take questions.
Obviously, this is a whole meet for you, but how do you tune all of that out? I mean, how do you get rid of, the mom, the friends, the fans, everyone who's here to see you in your home state? How do you kind of focus on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. It's usually not too big of an issue. My mom and my family and all my friends know that I have to swim, so they don't bug me too much. But it's always nice knowing that they're all in the stands, and I've got a home crowd essentially, and it's nice to swim with that pressure.
Is it different maybe this time around than the previous visits you had here, as far as people literally coming to see you?
Yeah. I had a couple of friends. Okay, story time. So my friends came 4 years ago when I sang. So it was my first nationals, and they got shirts that had my name on them. So one had an L and the other one had an I. That they spelled my name out in the crowd. So I was this little kid in the B final, the 50 breast, and they're like, "Yay!" And they have my name in the crowd. So it was kind of funny, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You believe how far you've come since being a little kid in the B final of 50 breast?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was a little kid, but but yeah, I kind of always expected it. That was always the goal. I didn't know it would come so quickly, but I'm glad it has.
So we know you don't like to keep quiet on certain big issues.
Yes.
Certain people, and one of them's been swimming pretty fast lately, and Yulia. So what was your reaction when you saw that she went 104 in the breaststroke?
I'm excited. I like racing fast people. I love having a race. I love competition, and that's why I'm in this sport. So, I don't really think there's a point to having a rivalry if we're not going to go back and forth. So I love seeing people put fast times up, and I love trying to beat them in the meet, the week after. So hopefully, we'll have a good swim, be 104, a little bit lower than what she went, because, that's the name of the game. But we'll see what happens.
What does a rivalry do for you? We think of Jordan versus everyone, Magic, Bird. Do you need that rivalry? Do you need to have that rabbit you're chasing?
Yeah, definitely. That's really been a change of focus for me this last year, is going from being the underdog for pretty much my whole career, and now all of a sudden not really being the underdog. But then when people, put up faster times than me, then I kind of go back to being the underdog again. So it's very familiar territory for me, and I like, having that rivalry and having that added pressure of, having that person to chase. So I'm excited.
With that added pressure, after having a year like you did in 2016, do you kind of push the reset button on the success you had, and maybe you have the mentality of starting over, or do you use your past success to try and continue your trend?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm erasing I guess my success in the past. It is kind of a sense of added pride, when you're swimming a race and some 14-year-old is trying to beat you in the lane next to you, and you're like, no, I'm an Olympic champion, they can't beat me. In that sense, I like it, but starting over for this quad, I do kind of like to start fresh a little bit, and just not worry too much and just go back to racing like I always have.
Where do you see your progress since Rio?
Yeah, a lot of progress actually, in the weight room, in practice, nutrition-wise. Really, I've upped the game, especially these last couple months. But we'll see if it pays off in the pool.
How has your life changed in the last 18 months?
It's changed a lot. I guess in the last 18 months, just going to college and I guess becoming an adult and going to the Olympics and winning NCAAs and blah, 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 blah. But you guys all know the list. But
that can be, that's very transformational on a lot in a short amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a lot to handle, but I've been taking it in full stride. And just kind of everything is changing all the time, so I guess that's the new normal for me.
So the 200 breast.
Yes.
Not something you figured it out short course a long time ago.
Yes.
Still working on it long
Mhm.
course. So where are you with that event? What do you think? How much do you focus on that event, long course, and what do you think you're capable of?
Yeah, I think training at IU, our focus is always the 200s. We kind of train. We're kind of more of a distance-based program. I do a lot of yardage, so really, at least training-wise, focus is always on the 200. That speed, I've always had that speed, so the 100s always kind of come naturally to me. But really been working on the 200 a lot. Just race strategy. I mean, I haven't really swam it that many times, so. Just kind of working on that, and in a little bit of smaller meet setting, and I've been pacing pretty well the last couple weeks, so hopefully we'll have a good swim.
What would be good for you?
Good for me, 221 would be good for me. I'd be down for that. I've been 224 like so many times now, but yeah, to get down to 221, be able to make the final at Worlds.
What you said you've been working on race strategy. What specifically is the? I assume not go out.
Yeah. Usually I'm like, well, I'm going to die, so I might as well die ahead of everyone else. But that doesn't work. So yeah, really just kind of holding back a little bit on the first 100, not busting it as much. I do a lot of negative split work in practice, so trying to implement that into my races.
Are you getting time at home, or are you in Bloomington most of this summer?
I go home on the weekend, like sometimes, but I stay in Bloomington for the most part.
When you go home, what's been the reaction still this far after last summer?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's starting to calm down a little bit, thank God. But especially like right when I got back from Rio, it was nuts. I had people looking for me. I mean, I was like getting mob places. It was not enjoyable for me, but luckily it's starting to calm down. People see me around town like, oh, yeah, she lives here, it's fine. Which I'm great with. That's fine for me.
So you mentioned, I don't know, I guess it might not be a problem this week, but you mentioned sometimes when there's not, at NCAAs, when there's not someone for you to race, you kind of get bored and you have sort of like your 100 breast at NCAAs, which you said sucked.
Yeah.
Have you worked on not letting that happen?
Haven't really had too many chances since NCAAs. It is hard for me when I don't have anyone to race. I've always, like I said earlier, I've always kind of been more of, or at least up until now, I've always kind of been the underdog and always having someone to chase. And, I train with the guys at practice, so I race the guys and I chase the guys. And when I get into a race and it's nothing like I've done in practice, that's kind of hard for me, but it's something I'm going to have to learn to deal with.
How do you transition from being the underdog to now not being the underdog?
Yeah, still working on it. It's weird. It's, I don't know if, I like it because that means I'm not the underdog and I'm, going fast and winning races and things like that. But it's hard when your favorite thing to do is race people and chase your competitors to kind of just flip the switch all of a sudden.
Anybody else? We good? Right.
So, how much is that your biggest focus, going faster than she did this week? Is that the thing that you kind of have circled? Like, this is what I want to do here?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's the number one thing I want to do. That would be a great thing to do. But those were some really fast times and definitely faster than I put up in Rio. So I would love to be what I went in Rio or just as fast, or maybe just go best times. I have a lot of events this week, so more than I'm used to. Just, being able to swim those races, swim them well, swim them smart, and hopefully coming out on top.
You are the underdog going into Budapest in your baby event. What will that
Right.
look like?
It'd be fine. I'm used to that. But pressure's still on. I'm technically not the underdog, no matter what my seed time is. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Other than the 3 breaststrokes, 200 IM.
200 IM.
Anything else?
That's it. I don't think I have any more cuts.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lily.
So,